What's going on, folks? This is Price is Wrong. I get ready to do the Herculean campaign. I actually only got one shot at this because I've already done it 3 times. But I wanted to show you the Mastery campaign, which is the very final one that gives you the 2 Hydra Siege Cruiser build tokens, and as well as some charged armor. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to Battle Vortex.
All right. So a little bit about my stream. My name is Price is Wrong. I've been playing this game since its inception, pretty much. I've got a really low ID. But anyway, I'm just going to try to show you how I do the Herculean TLC. And hopefully I get it right in one go, because I've already done it 3 times. And so hopefully it goes well this last and final time. So here goes. Got 1 hour to get her done. I'm going to be doing it real time. Feel free to skip around if you need to, if you're watching this later on YouTube. And also give me a like and a subscribe if you appreciate the video. I am going to kind of narrate as I go through here, just to try to give you some ideas on where my mind's at throughout the campaign and why I do certain things. This is not going to be perfect, so don't expect it to be. Keep your expectations low, knowing that it's not going to be perfect. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start going down on this particular encounter. And the reason being is because I really just want to open up the field as I go, so that I have more room to maneuver. And all right, they've done some kind of changes to the game recently that really is good for stacking. I don't know exactly what it was that they've done, but I, for one, very much appreciate it. Generally, I have tons of maneuvers I have to do to get these things stacked the way I like them, and I'm not having to do that. Works quite so hard at that. Since this last update. Alright, so obviously these little guys right here can be taken out in one volley here in the beginning. The angry ones are the ones you try to stay ahead of. I know when they're berserking like that. Sometimes with the berserk, you can fire like 2 or 3 times the salvos, so just kind of got to watch out. These guys right here, you notice the green shield icon comes up in the top right. You don't want to shoot them then. You go when it's green, you can go ahead and go in on them, knowing that your torpedoes aren't going to get there until after that shield's over. So that's what I'm doing here. Now again, we do have the mortar chuckers all the way down here on the bottom, so I'm actually going to try to go towards the top first. Now, I'm not like just trying to like run away from them, if you hadn't noticed. I am worried about the mortars, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I kind of know how to avoid them for the most part, and you see I did pretty well there. If you can take out the angry guy while he's not angry, that would be awesome. You're not always going to have that particular opportunity, but it is nice when it does happen. Now that there's no thermal or sonar around to spot me, I can go ahead and run after this guy without a fear of being shot at. Now there is some stuff over here. Let me see if I can... Okay, there he is. It's down underneath. That's the guy I was looking for. I am going to have to run really hard away from mortars here, so... Alright, so perpendicular if you can. Alright, I definitely want to stay ahead of these morts as best as I can here. The first encounter, they really won't hurt that bad if they hit. But obviously, you know, you want to guarantee instant repair as best as you can. All right. If you're interested in any of the music that's playing, it is in the chat here to, I guess, that side. It's a little confusing when you're in front of the camera as to which direction is which, but it's not at the top. Usually I do have regular music. I've been kind of messing with my bot, and for testing purposes, it's currently running on my local PC. So the pointer to the text at the top of the screen is not pointing in the right place, so it's actually pointing to where the last place my bot was running. Just trying to get some updates done and all that. Got a couple things. I'm always experimenting with my stream, trying to figure out ways to make it a little bit better, more professional. I like to try to provide high quality content where I can. I'm a kind of a mediocre player. I'm not really high end, and I only say that because to be high end is fairly expensive, and you know, and I kind of feel like, you know, KIXEYE wins. You know, quite honestly, it's as expensive as Battle Pirates is to play. To be competitive, I kind of feel like, you know, if I'm spending a lot, then KIXEYE wins. I'm giving them what they want, and which goes against the change that I've actually been looking for. So, all right, so did pretty good that one. Time is something we don't want to fiddle fart around with. We don't want to mess around with our time too badly, because I always try to repair whenever I can, because it is going to run really close to the clock. If you need the res, of course you can dock and come back out, but because of the clock, that's why I'm not doing it. I do have room for the resources in my warehouses currently, but 53 minutes, so you know, we're going to use every bit of that clock pretty much. So. Now, this particular level right here, oops. All right, I guess I didn't hit the up arrow where I thought I did. I mean, this is a one that we've seen before, but this one does have Drax in it. The Drax and Scourge are not enemies yet in this particular target, but I do like to come in from, well, it doesn't really matter if you come in from the top or the bottom of this particular area right here. You really just got to get close enough to make sure you don't want to get too close to where you're actually targeted, but you do want to give yourself room to run away from the morts. All right. Sometimes if you go at an angle, because there is a little bit of a difference between the speeds, you can go at an angle to keep yourself in range longer. Okay, that's interesting. Sorry about that. That was my work phone. That kind of really messed me all up there. Probably want to get shot some more now. I'm expecting mortars to be inbound. All right, this one right here is a little tricky. You actually want to be going kind of at an upward angle as you get closer, because you need to give yourself room to run away from the mortars. It's really, really tight there at the beginning. You don't want to get too far away, though, because you want to be able to hit one of these guys, like, right off the get-go if you can. Get one of these guys a little fired up so that you can just pull them out where you want them. Uh-oh. Almost wasn't paying attention over there. Alright. Let's go ahead and go for it. Just go on down. I kind of hesitated there. That was almost a really, really bad hesitation, but we're good, thankfully. I do mess up quite a bit. There's a lot of folks that will watch just to see what mistakes that I make. They'll watch my streams just to see what mistakes that I make so they know not to repeat them. And I'm really fine with that. I mean, I know there's a lot of folks that'll joke about watching my streams so that they know what not to do. And sometimes that's the case. It's not always what you know, how to do things. A lot of times it is exactly what not to do. It's easy to find videos of, you know, where people are doing things perfectly all the time. But that doesn't necessarily prepare you for the mistakes all the time, so. Oh, crap. See, there was one. They happen. They got too close to that other ship and they saw me. Started shooting. Thankfully, it was early so that the damage wasn't tuned up too badly. Alright. Now again, these guys, when the green shield's not, that's when you don't want to shoot at them. Hopefully I can get him killed before, okay, and thankfully I did, before the shield came back up. And then shield's up, you could, grants it a thorn ability, where basically some of the damage that you inflict is reflected back. And that's what I understand the thorn ability is. Generally, what I like to do is take out one section of ships and then take out the mortar chuckers. So there's like 3 sections of ships. Actually, there's 4. And then if you get a mortar chucker, you know, becomes vulnerable, and then you take it out. You don't want to leave a whole bunch of them there. Thankfully, still instant repair. As you progress, they do get to be quite a bit more punitive as far as the damage goes. So you do want to try to not screw up quite so much. Hopefully you get warmed up enough in the beginning to where it's not a problem for you later. Now, as I was saying earlier, my stream is not necessarily a guide on how to be a better player. I'm really just trying to show you guys how I play the game, and maybe share some of the wisdom that I have. I have managed to acquire some wisdom over the years playing this game, and I've been very fortunate to be able to be surrounded by wiser players, better players than myself, and that, of course, has helped me tremendously. And then if I can use that same to try to help everybody else, that's actually what I'm trying to do here. Just share some of the things that I've learned to help other people be better players. Maybe save some money, and hopefully deny Kicksai a little bit of income. Uh-oh. See, I got too close. Oh well, I'm committed now. Let's let that one. Okay, there we go. I will show my build. I'll try to put it in the description, but also I'm going to show you in my shipyard. Alright, so I keep them in range a little bit longer. I'm going to go to just a bit of an angle here. Alright. I'm actually really close to the edge of the map already. There we go. We did pretty well with that. Shield is up, so we'll go in there and hit it. Bam. Nice. I could start going down already, but I'm going to go ahead and open this up here because I'm sure there's something down here that will help me get spotted. That guy right there. And we're going to go perpendicular to this guy. That will hopefully help me avoid getting hit by mortars. I also have mortars coming in from the south, so there we go. Hopefully that'll get this guy in a little bit closer here, and we can get some shots off on the angry guy. See if I can make like a little path around the outside of all of these clouds. Alright. Shield. Let's see if we can get in there fast enough to kill this thing. It's amazing sometimes how many the difference as far as the strength. You know, it's funny that some ships you can kill in one volley, where the same ship, also in the same target, another one will take like triple the volleys. Mortar's bad. Alright. Now here we are in the same boat again, where I need to try to activate these folks. So I'm going to kind of go a little perpendicular at an angle here. Hopefully help me to avoid some of these. Again, go at an angle. And things kind of worked out really well for me there. Alright, green. Good, good, good. Now, I know you can't really tell, but I do kind of monitor my memory use very closely. Between Kixeye code and Flash, this thing doesn't do memory very well. So if your game starts to use up a bunch of memory, I think 3 gig is the limit on my computer. I have a 16 gigs on my computer though. So if I hit the 3 gigs, I'm pretty much guaranteed to crash. And if I get over 1 gig, I like to refresh often. But definitely I like to refresh before 2 gigs, if I can help it. Okay, again, let's see here, repair. Now, here, I'm going to go ahead and recall. I'm over 5 minutes, so I can't instant repair on the water. But I can instant repair my base by separating my ships. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Just got to get them down below 5 minutes. All right. I use my task manager. And then I organize by memory right here. Facebook Game Room is the app that I'm using, and that's the one I really like to keep an eye on. So if you watch it, let's see here. Let me go ahead and put it on the side. I'll put Battle Pirates on this side and hit refresh, and you can just watch that Facebook Game Room. See how the memory just like instantly went down. It's coming back up. It's going to be close to a gig. It used to not be quite so bad. So on occasion they'll make changes to the code. Believe it or not, there is more anti-hacking software in Battle Pirates than there is actually game code, and that's pretty terrible. But if you think hacking does not destroy a community, there you go. There you go. All right. Now, this particular map, we're going to see this one twice. But I actually have a buddy of mine, Aussie RBG. He's a regular on my stream. He's the one that showed me this, where you can actually get to this mortar chucker before the walls come up around it. So that's what I'm going to work on. So you notice I didn't waste any time trying to stack. I'm not interested in stacking it all right now. I'm interested in killing that thing. So why my ships are going in all these crazy directions is beyond me. Again, that's Kick's Eye. Uh-oh. I'm going to get too close up there. That had the potential to be bad. All right, there we go. All right, sweet. Now go ahead and stack. Here's the wall. Now this guy right here is going to start chucking mortars as soon as I'm seen by these subs up here. But I should still be able to kill one of these guys, no problem. Now these guys, because after they don't see me anymore, you see they want to go right. That's just the center of the map, and of course I want to bring them back towards the left. I don't want to get these guys too close to the wall there. Oh, he's got some shots off on me. Man, that hurt too. But no more instant repairs, guys. Oops, got too close to him too. Alright. I could have brought him down here and probably avoided that shot, but I was trying to get him away from the wall. Sadly, the way Kick's Eye has these maps coded, if they're too close to the wall, they can continue to shoot at you, but you can't fire back. Not torpedoes. Alright, so because I have this mortar chucker here and I got some back behind here, I want to be kind of going down at a downward motion, and that way I can pull left. That way I can pull left and hopefully avoid the mortars. Now, once I get up here, I actually want to go up a little bit because I don't want them getting too close to the wall. The damage that these ships are taking from the mortars, those mortars do friendly fire, but the damage that they're taking does hurt them. And those are points that you wouldn't get, but you're not on here for points in this particular target. Here you're just trying to get through the level so that you can claim set completion bonus, right? So it's a set completion bonus, so you're not here for points. Let's see if I can get there quick enough to take that guy out. Alright, let's go ahead and go on up. Alright. Now, there's more boats down here that we need to get out. So so let's go ahead and work on them. Same thing, I'm going to be going at a downwards motion, and then try to go left. I don't want them to get too close to the walls, because that will basically make them invulnerable and me vulnerable, so, which is bad. Okay, good. No more mortars inbound. Now I get to kill a few mortar chuckers. There are a couple anyway. Now this one up here I still don't want to go after just yet, because there's other subs up here that will spot me, and I don't want that, so I got to go up here and kind of trigger them. Mortars will be inbound, which is fine. Just got to stay in front of them. Now, this is, I always call this my little Die Hard sequence, because I'm running from the explosions like I was in a Die Hard movie. Alright, there's one. A little bit of an angle's fine, because he doesn't get too close, and you can... Oh, that was my bad. That was my bad. Alright. Alright, now I can go ahead and kill this guy. This will be the last mortar checker. I think I got enough mortars in there. Good. All right. All right, green shield. Take them out. Now I've got 5 ships in here, so I'm going to look and see how bad the damage is. If I can repair, awesome, but I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to repair. Yeah, an hour, it's not happening. That divided by 5, it's going to be about 11 minutes apiece, a little over 11 minutes apiece, and I'm not waiting for that. So yeah, it's not happening. You could coin it if you want to, but it's really not needed. Anyway, we're on to number 5. My memory is at 1 gig. I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and hit it. Same exact target all over again. See if I can do it a little bit better this time. Well, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as what we just did. Now, sometimes the different variations of this particular target, sometimes this wall right here comes up a little bit longer. And I think if you had a combat speed crew on, sometimes you could probably make it up there and take that guy out too, if you were fast enough. But this one right here, you see how fast it comes up. It's pretty fast. Alright, get them stacked. And these rising targets, they do cause quite a bit of lag for some players. Good graphics card does help. I personally, I have a GTX 1070. It's not the best on the market. It's the second best. That's generally how I shop, quite honestly. And try to save a little bit of money where I can. Computers are pretty expensive, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Now we do got this guy up here. We do got this guy up here, and I'm going to try to catch him. All right. Bless you, son. Alright, see if we can get them to come up. There's mortars. I feel like I'm doing this one a little bit better this time. Actually, I know I'm doing it a lot better. Now, generally my public streams are a little bit different because I do have live folks in the chat, which I don't currently have. I usually have song requests on. And in playing, you know, regular music as opposed to royalty-free music. That's what this is. It's all royalty-free music. It's just so that I can monetize on YouTube. You know, doing what I do is not free. It does cost me money to do, and I'm not trying to get rich on here or anything like that. But if I can recoup some of my cost, I try. And I've definitely spent way more doing this than I've ever earned, so it doesn't, you're not going to get rich doing this. And now on Twitch, I do take, there are donations, if you notice at the top. Kimmy is she donates often. It's not generally large amounts, it's usually small amounts, but she does donate pretty often. She's also a subscriber. Subscribing is another way you can help me out. And if you have a Amazon Prime account, you can actually link that to Twitch and become a Twitch Prime member, which gives you a free subscription per month. And that's just it doesn't cost you anything extra on top of your Prime membership, but it does benefit me financially. So I get about $2.50 off of that once a month from your once a month subscription, and which is very much appreciated. Now there are, if you ever join me on Twitch, there's like a little pyramid. They have a cheer system on Twitch, where basically every 1 bit that you cheer is worth a penny to me. It's not a lot, but it does add up. All right, so now I'm an hour and 2 minutes. That would have been instant repair had I not screwed up the previous round. All right, so we got one more for the subs. This one right here is kind of a lengthy one. I actually do this one in 2 hits generally. I've got 24 minutes left, so it is doable where we're at. It is still pretty much going to take the whole clock, but you know, we'll get it done. I do like to stack right away on this particular target. This one right here was actually an elite target, or a tier 7 target, I believe is what it was. The last raid, and first thing I like to do is stack up, and then I like to try to trigger these guys, and then I just run. Well, hopefully without getting any shots off. I'd rather not get any shots off at all. You see, I did get close enough to let one volley loose. But you see, once I escape their thermal range, they turn around, and they're actually in here fighting with the Scourge. These Dracs are. They fight with the Scourge. I don't want to get too close, but what I'm gonna try to do is sneak around here to the bottom. I want to take out all the mortar ships first if I can. That's actually what my goal is. Alright, so the Dracs are all done. They did take out quite a few Scourge, but here I'm going to go ahead and trigger some more Scourge, because they want to kill me too. Go figure, right? Try to go up and trigger them a little bit, run away. Watch out for the mortars, that kind of thing. Get just far enough away to where they'll start going to the center of the map. They like to go up here and just kind of go around in circles. Excuse me. Once you do that, you can actually start working on some of these other mortar ships. You might be tempted to go out and kill that guy right there, but let's save you the trouble. Don't do it. And the reason being is because once you kill him, you trigger these other berserkers, the berserk on some of these ships, and then they take a wider circle because they're going really fast. Uh-oh. My mouse is not working. Oh, and that special. My mouse just died on me. Not even a warning. Alright. All I had to do was plug it in, so I'm good now. It's a wireless mouse. This is probably the best mouse on the market, quite honestly. I love it. It's a Logitech brand mouse, and it's good wireless for a long time, but you do have to charge it up. It's supposed to give me warnings, but it didn't do that. Alright, so I just killed 3 of these mortar chuckers. Now I'm going to go ahead and trigger some more of these Scourge ships. Alright, and then run. Same thing over and over again. This is actually the last group that I really need to trigger. I should be able to take out the rest of the mortar ships now. I want to get too close to those guys. If you are interested in what kind of mouse, if I just kind of like said what's the best mouse on the market, if you're curious about that, it's a Logitech mouse. I actually do have it listed on my Twitch page. I actually have like a little Amazon list of all of the hardware that I own on there. And so the mouse is included. I have a couple keyboards. I got a gaming keyboard that I use on my gaming PC, which I think is an amazing keyboard. And then I also have a wireless keyboard for my streaming PC. And yes, I do use two PCs to do this. And that is also an amazing keyboard. And believe it or not, they're all Logitech. They are all Logitech. Logitech makes some really nice stuff. So this is the end of my first time going in. All of the mortar ships are dead. I could trigger this guy right here if I wanted to. As soon as they pull away, they're no longer in thermal range of me, so they can't see me anymore. What I'm doing right now is just waiting for my retreat button to load up. All right. All right, so 19 minutes left. It shouldn't even take 10 minutes, so you know, hopefully less than 5. Hopefully, well, 5-ish. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Obviously, my pattern's going to be a bit different. My goal this time is not taking out all the mortar ships, because the mortar ships are already all taken out. What my goal is this time is to activate one section of ships at a time and lead them to their doom. That's what my goal is. Some of these ships can be really tough. Some of them die really easy. Now, if you get too many ships next to you, sometimes it can be really hard to know which one to shoot at. And what I generally do in those situations is I'll watch my cluster of subs, and as soon as I fire, I pull away. Now here you kind of do want to go in at an angle, try to keep them in range as best as you can, because you need as much space as you can get your hands on, or you can make available to yourself to keep firing. Again, you want to watch that green shield. All right, we'll go back down here to the little path. Let me check my memory real quick. It's making me a little nervous. So I'm only at 1.2 gigs. That's not horrible. I've done worse, so. I don't feel like I'm getting ready to crash or anything. I have noticed a little bit of lag, but nothing I can't deal with just yet. Now, coming out of that channel between the clouds, I like to go to the top first to get this top section of boats. You don't want to go straight in the middle because then you'll trigger a lot more than you really want. If you go up to the top, you can get a smaller section. All right. I was starting to get a little nervous there. You don't want to get pushed into the clouds either. Clouds are mean. All right, green circle or green shield. Now I'll go ahead and go for the middle section. Alright. Try to get some shots off and maybe tick off this berserker. Alright, I always do like to make sure I'm not getting cornered. Sometimes you'll get these guys and they'll try to surround you. You'll get like a bunch of them going to the bottom half, some going to the top half. Then you always want to clear out the lighter half first. That way you're not getting cornered or pinned up against the wall. Alright, let's see if I can get one of these guys. I saw that they just had the green shield, but alright, and we just gotta do a little spin maneuver here. Go back in. Alright, he's going to be shielding up for a second. We'll just go back in. Alright, now it looks like when you look at the map, you just see like this cluster of 5 ships. But there's actually a berserker down here on the bottom corner and the top right corner as well. So I generally, I mean, I don't know, there's probably different strategies here. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go straight to the corner first to try to make sure I start targeting a berserker first. I think that's probably what I'll still do this time. Because that way I can get them softened up, hopefully, before I run into everybody else. Because the last thing I want to do is have to deal with, like, 2 really tough berserkers. Oh, well, I've gotten too close to me. Now, you can, you know, maybe convince yourself that, you know, you're good, right? Because, you know, this is the last one and all that, and you could feel like you can be a little bit more reckless. But wouldn't you feel like really awesome if you could do like 2 of these in a row? I know I do. When I drive well enough to where I feel like I can do 2 of these TLCs back to back. All right, so now I'm in one of those situations where I've got them trying to pin me. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick on the guy on the top. Now that is going to berserk the this one guy down here, which is fine. But now I've got my whole top free, so I just got a lot more room right now. Everything all right, babe? All right. Looking for the green shield. There we go. Next one. All right. So, next I have number 7, which you need hunters for. Okay, so this one right here wasn't horrible. I got 11 minutes left. So, just want to show you the damage. So I'm up to 1 hour and 23 on that. We'll go ahead and recall it, start the repair. You can get out the hunters. There are crews that you can use for these, by the way, that would only make your experience a little bit better. But you don't have to be dependent on them. All right, let's see where the memory's at real quick. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and refresh just for the heck of it. I got one left to do, so I don't want to have to stop in the middle of that one to refresh. Not with like less than 11 minutes left, so. 11 minutes is not a lot of time. I've had people tell me that as long as you're in it before the clock runs out, that you should still be okay and be rewarded the prize. But my experience, I mean, it's been years since it's happened to me, but and I know things change in the game over time, and so maybe that is the case now. But I know once upon a time it was not, and I've not been able to get up the courage to test it yet. You definitely don't want to do this one with subs. If you try subs, they spot you super fast and everything kills you in like a single volley, so that sucks. Now, I do kind of stack here. You just shouldn't feel like you really need to right off the get-go. This first ship right here, this is a eel, electric eel. It will actually activate all of the Dracs down here, and there's going to be like a little combat over here. So when I go in, what I like to do, I hate how slow these are, by the way. What I like to do when I go in is I like to activate and then just kind of go up. And then let them all fight down there. Now, I do like to tank with my flagship because the flagship has got a lot of... the flagship's got a lot of armor, and it repairs very fast. If you do notice you see how my charges are pretty much gone here. I'm going to go ahead and retreat and get my charge back. My number one did take a lot of damage on that. That's an unusual amount of damage. I don't usually take quite that much damage. You're not going to get out of this one instant repair. It's just simply not happening. There are people that will try to auto this particular target, and it will take over 8 hours worth of damage with this fleet. And that does include losing boats and everything. There are tricks, though, that you can do with this fleet that makes it pretty awesome. Because the flagship is a healer, I actually could dock this if I wanted to repair these ships back, but being that I'm down to 8 minutes now, I'm not going to do any of that. The trick that I was going to explain to you, though, if you do lose a ship, and as long as it's not your flagship, you can put like a little zombie repair on it. It doesn't need to be just a few hit points, because the flagship will repair it up to a certain degree. We'll repair it, I think, up to 75%, 50%, something like that. And that will save you quite a bit in repairs. So any ships that you lose, if you just zombie it a little bit, put it with your flagship, it'll say, even if you're a coiner, it'll save you a couple coins. Each one of these ships do have 2 Gale 3s on them also. That will help a little bit with the mortars, but it will not just take them straight on. If you try to just challenge all the mortars in here, you're not going to be very happy with this particular setup. You can pretty much, if you got one mortar hull, you can actually... there you go. I always try to tank with the flag. And if you can use this wall, use the wall any chance you get. And the reason for that is because if you're behind the wall, they can't shoot torpedoes at you. Like that guy just shot torpedoes at me because he's a jerk. Alright, let's try to go in a little bit. I want... So you try to challenge too many morts, you're not going to be very happy. But if you can actually go off to the side, don't go right down the center. You go off to the side a little bit, and you can keep the mortars off you completely. My charge is still in good shape, so let's go ahead and start trying to peel off another set of ships here. All right, number 1, bring him in. All right. Again, I'm going to get behind the wall. Try to avoid these torpedoes where I can. Now, this guy right here, he's berserking. Well, he was berserking, but right now I got away from no more torpedoes. Trying to keep the torpedoes off me. Alright, did good. Now, I'm out of explosive again, so I could go ahead and retreat and recharge again. It's probably a really good idea at this point. I'm going to go ahead and kill this one ship, though. I'm not too worried about explosive damage from him. You see, I just managed to dodge all those mortars. So I'm just going to kill that one ship. I'm going to retreat after that. Oh, heck, I'm almost there now. Maybe I should go ahead and retreat. Yep, it just lit up, so I'll go ahead and do it. Four minutes left, folks. 4 minutes. So I'm watching the clock. I'm almost to blitz mode. Should I just go ahead and blitz? If I put it on auto right now, I would win. I would win. But it would be probably a little bit of damage, so. Alright, so it's going a little high, so I'm just going to try to take the bottom half of it here. Try to keep the mortars off of me. Alright, so it's past me now. Alright, I think I'm probably I'm going to go ahead and do this little. Try to take them all. Let's go ahead and put the number 1. Just start tanking here a little bit. Now, all of these guys right here are the berserkers. They'll actually get caught up here in this corner, which is what I want. If I can get one of these other guys, kill them. Let's see here. There we go. Let him calm down real fast. Alright. Now, I don't have any charge left. It would be nice to be able to retreat and come back in, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm down to like a minute. We may be inadvertently testing here the clock. All right. That was like right at the end of the clock right there. Still on the prize though. Still on the prize. Now, the damage I took, I've done better. This is a 3 hours worth of damage. I have done better before, and you may do better yourself. It really just comes down to your build, right? And your driving ability. I'll show you my builds real quick. I'll try to go ahead and also put them in the description on YouTube. But definitely, if any of this was any benefit, the mistakes, what I did right, what I did wrong, please give me a like and even subscribe on YouTube. I definitely would appreciate I appreciate new folks on my Twitch too all the time. We do have a lot of fun on there with credits, lots of different games and stuff like that. But anyway, so my builds here, let's go ahead and cancel this. I should show you the Apex Hunter first. So I do try to have as much of the newer depth charges as I can. You see I've got the Wolf's Tooth and I've got Houndstooth depth charges on here. You know, there is a TLC out right now for these where you can get some build tokens to refit if you need to. Weight could be potentially a problem. This particular hull, the Apex Hunter, has 110,000 armor points. So any specials that you might put on there that that uses armor weight could really drive your weight up quite a bit. So you want to try to avoid using those as best as you can on the Apex Hunter or anything that's got like huge amounts of armor points. The charged armors, I have kind of experimented a little bit. I kind of felt like the 3 charged armors were a better way to go for me. I did use the alloy armor CTX3. I know a lot of people would just use a blade of armor 3 from the research lab, which is fine. Combat speed, you notice the ship's really slow. So the Magnus Drive 3 is was or has been the fastest engine that you could put on there for combat speed. So that's what I actually do have on here at the moment. Explosive System 4, I do like that it reduces the spread. If you actually look at these things up here, the spread is 100, the splash is 15, which just means there's 3 salvos. There's a strong likelihood that this weapon may not do any damage to the target whatsoever. So you're really dependent on splash. And anything you can do to reduce the spread is going to drive your DPS up. So that's why I'm using Explosive System 4. It gives me splash and reduces the spread. Advanced concussive payload. Of course, these are concussive weapons. The Explosive System 4, it doesn't. I don't know why it's called Explosive System 4 because there's nothing on here specifically for explosive. It does increase your projectile speed, so I'm just saying you can take full advantage of the Explosive System 4, even though you're not actually using explosives. But advanced concussive payload does increase your reload and damage. PBX payload gives you critical hit benefits, and then a Guidance Scrambler 3, of course, enhances your evade, which will help a great deal against torpedoes because those torpedoes do sting. Again, with the Gales, I do have a Gale 2 and a Gale 3, so this particular one is mixed. All of these hunters, see the armor's similar, the builds are similar. The difference, there is a difference up here as far as which depth charges I'm using. It's a lot of the Wolf's Tooth depth charge, and I'm using both Gale 3s on that. And I believe all of these here are pretty much the same. Yes, they look the same. Look the same. So that's that particular fleet. So let's go ahead and cancel the build so I can show you the other one, or the repair rather. So up here, and this guy, I do have the Phantom Fangtooth, and again, this also came out with a second torpedo. So there's the Nightmare torpedo, which is the newer one, the more powerful one. And then there's a Delirium torpedo. Now, the Delirium torpedo, I actually have 2. The rest of them are all Nightmare torpedoes. And basically it comes down to sonic targeting 4 because of the weight. The sonic targeting 4 is heavier, so any ship that I have that has sonic targeting 4, I'm having to go 8 and 2. 8 Nightmares and 2 Deliriums. The ones that I have don't have that on. And you only need sonic sonar really on one ship. It's good to have some kind of redundancy though. Probably overdid it by having it on 3. But you know, obviously you can make that choice yourself. Again, Magnus Drive 3, that helps actually with the cloak efficiency, as well as the combat speed for your subs. Alloy Armor CTX 3, Sealed Fire Charge, Guided Scrambler 3 again for the torpedo. Evade against torpedoes is really helpful. And Advanced Torpedo Tubes, so that's concussive reload and torpedo damage. And so that's one build type. So you see this right here is a regular Fangtooth that has the exact same build, is what I just showed you. That one there also. This one right here does not. It actually has concussive upgrade instead. And because I put that on there instead of the Sonar 4, or Sonic Targeting 4, I could actually have all 10 Nightmares torpedoes on here for higher damage. So there you go. That's my builds. Anyway, I'm going to try to do more of these. I've actually had some people just request that I try to get back into doing videos again. I did stop doing it for a while because it just seems like so many people are putting out videos, and they're good videos. I don't want to take away from anybody else's. And I mean, I don't watch all the videos myself. Me personally, I feel like Battle Pirates takes up so much of my time already, that I just I figure any time that I'm using any of my time that I'm using watching Battle Pirate videos is just more Battle Pirate time, and I'd like to try to manage that a little bit better than that instead of letting Battle Pirates take over my life. So if you're like that and you actually took the time to watch my video, I do appreciate it immensely. So thank you very much. But anyway, with all that being said, I'd like to wish everybody good luck in your campaign, and hopefully have similar results or better would be great. And if you got something worth sharing, definitely. I mean, I might be able to help you put the word out there, or maybe you can put out your own videos. That'd be great too. And with all that being said, you have a good evening, and good luck. Take care.
The price is wrong, bitch.